So, as you can see here, I really do like collecting Nintendo and Super Mario merchandise. But have you ever wondered which one is my favorite? Well, this might be a bit unexpected, but to see which one I like the most, you need to look all the way down here to these little guys. These are the Mario Microlands figures, as you can see here. These were figures that came out all the way back in 2014 and unfortunately were discontinued shortly after, back in 2015 I believe. These guys are for sure my favorite collection that I have in my entire room, always has been. I still dream of the day that it will re-release these guys, but unfortunately they didn't. But they were released in 3 separate series, series 1, 2 and 3. So today we'll be taking a look at them one by one. If you guys enjoyed this, please consider leaving a like and subscribing, and let's dive straight into it. So over here we have the entire series 1 of figures. The only one I'm missing is actually Princess Peach, as you can see here. This is the only figure that I do not own yet, but as you can see they have these playsets here based on World 1 of Super Mario Bros. U. There's a lot of playability to them. You can get these sort of power-ups here. Unfortunately I lost most of mine, but I still have this one. And then you would have like Mario tap the question block here and this thing would come out. There's a lot of cool stuff on these. I used to play with these when I was younger, almost 10 years ago. As you can see here, you can press this button and the Goomba would come out. You can get the Mountie Mole onto this thing, and when you press it, it basically just throws it like this. It's pretty awesome to play with these figures. These was basically my favorite toy while I was growing up, and nowadays I must say it's still my favorite collection for my entire collection room. These figures are like so detailed. Look at the size of this guy and look at the amount of detail onto him. This is why I love these figures. I wish Nintendo would start making them again. I've dreamed of this day for so long, but unfortunately nowadays I'm like 100% sure they won't come back with these figures, and the only thing we can do is basically like buy these little toads here and repaint them as blue toads and this type of stuff. I've thought about making custom figures before, like painting a Yoshi figure into a different color. That's all we can do nowadays because I'm sure Nintendo won't come back with this World of Nintendo line, but these guys are still pretty awesome to have. So this is the entire series 1. So here we have series 2. I even had to zoom out a bit because I have so many of these desert pieces here. As you can see with this series, they basically decided to go with like a World 2 thing to it. It would be so cool if they did more, but as you can see it's still the same playability here with the question blocks. You just remove the power-up. Unfortunately, as I said, I lost the other power-ups. You can spin this thing around here. You can spin also this one around. And the coolest one is probably the piranha plant, that you can make it come out of there. This thing is like so awesome. And here with the flag on the corner, as you can see, you can turn it to Mario and just put it down with a figure like this. I used to really love playing with these when I was younger. And here we have the little figures. As you can see, we have Nabbit. Series 2 is probably the best one. It's when they decided to go with like a bunch of villains. We have even the Koopalings. As you can see, we have only Larry Koopa and my favorite one, which is Morton, which is so cool because the only 2 they released were my 2 favorite ones, which is crazy. I was so lucky. But yeah, these guys are so perfect, man. I can't stop saying this about how I wish they would release more of these one day. Look at this propeller Mario. This thing is so small, yet it has so much detail to it. They are so perfect. I can't stop saying this. They're perfect. And that's basically this, the series 2. They have a bunch of figures. And for this one, I believe I'm only missing the penguin. And I'm also missing the Buzzy Beetle. I'll try to get them someday. I've been trying for a long time. But these guys are impossible to get, especially here in Brazil. There are not that many figures around. So now we have series 3. As you can see here, this was when the figures started basically dying off the Mario Microland series. They only released these 9 guys here, only in triple packs. They released no play sets for it. They were based on the Super Mario Bros. 2 game. And these little things back here, they're not from the series. I just think they fit really well with these guys. But yeah, on this series, they released them into golden forms. and they only released one new mode to it, which was this golden mushroom here. As you can see, all of these are just repaints from past modes of these figures, which is very sad because you can see how this line of figures started so well with so many releases and then it just started dying off like this. They did release a series on Zelda, which I'm going to show next, but unfortunately back in 2015-2014 these guys ended up dying off. So here we have my only Legend of Zelda ones that I have. These guys were pretty big back then. As you can see here on the screen, I'm gonna be showing you some of the playsets that they released for the Legend of Zelda, but unfortunately I did not buy as many of these, and something I regret until this day. In the beginning of the year I was traveling to the Netherlands and Europe, and I managed to find, believe it or not, a bunch of Legend of Zelda Microland sets. Even though these things are retired for more than 10 years ago, I managed to find a bunch of playsets of these and I did not buy them, which makes me very sad. But these ones were from the Legend of Zelda Wind Waker. As you can see from the details of the figures, this is the only Link I had. I wish I would have bought the one that I saw in the store. It was this one, which was Link fighting. I also found Ganon and a bunch of other figures, but they were still pretty expensive, so I decided not to buy them and I decided to buy regular Super Mario figures instead. But well, someday I might end up collecting the entire Legend of Zelda series, which I plan to do along with the Mario ones, because these guys are simply, as I said before, my favorite lines of figures ever. They're like so well made. I absolutely love these guys. So, why did Mario Microland die off? I believe the main reason to this was because they were released in the worst Nintendo era ever, which was 2014. So these guys were not selling well, and another reason to that is because these guys were very small and they used to be released in triple packs like these, and I believe the price for them was like $10. So moms would look at these things when their children were asking for it and be like, 10 bucks for these small little guys? No, we're not paying for them. So they did not sell well, which was very sad because these guys are simply so perfect in my opinion. I really wish they would make more of these, but unfortunately they did not. So these guys eventually died off, as I said before, in Series 3, which is very sad. I hope they someday release something similar to this. I would for sure try buying them for sure because they look so awesome. I love these guys. But that's basically it. If you guys enjoyed this, please consider leaving a like and subscribing, and I'll see you guys later. Bye!